Hello and welcome to DCS A10. In this video I'm going to demonstrate the use of mark points in designated targets, and particularly in designating sequential targets to allow you to, for example, attack the targets with sequential mavericks in a single pass. I've tried different techniques for designating and managing targets in DCS A10, and I believe that the mark points is the most efficient way. It's the easiest to learn and the easiest to handle and manage. So I'm going to demonstrate first of all how it works by going into the active pause mode, and we take the steer point switch on the IGI panel, we switch it into the mark point mode. And I'm going to make the HUD the center of interest, move our cursor to a random location on the terrain, and I'm going to make a mark point out of that. And we do the mark point by clicking TMS right short, and we can check that it's a mark point. Well, first of all, you can see it's come up as a mark point on our list of mark points because there was none in there already, so it's mark point A. But to be sure, we can check on the EGI panel very quickly, and we can see that mark point A is come up here. That's the one that we've selected. I'm going to now move the cursor somewhere to the right, again random place on the terrain, and once again TMS right short to make a second mark point, and we can see now mark point B has been created. If we want to cycle between these two mark points, it's a simple matter of clicking on our steer point selector switch on the UFC. You can see it goes between one and the other. The important thing to note here is that we can see the tail on there, which indicates that they're a SPI. So by selecting one or the other, you can see we're actually moving the SPI from one location to the other. And this is important because once we choose to slew a sensor to a SPI, remember once we change the SPI over, the sensor should automatically slew to the new SPI. So we can see how this works by switching on our Maverick, and I'm going to select from the Dismas the 65Hs, and we can see on the Maverick screen, going to make it center of interest, and if I use my China hat right long, I can slave the Maverick from its bore sight mode to our currently selected mark point A. So once that's done, it's a simple matter of now hitting the rocker switch to change the SPI to mark point B, and you can see our Maverick sensor will follow suit. So you can see the potential in this for designating targets. Now it's a little bit different when we come to designating real targets, because the sensor, once you've released the Maverick off the rails, the sensor is now reset for the new Maverick, so you do have to slave it once again using the China hat right long. So I'm going to go back into normal mode. I'm going to forget about the A and B markers we just created. We're going to find some real targets. I've got JTAC set up to do that for us. JTAC 1.
X-Men 1-1. This is infield 1-1-1. A10. Golf Hotel 2332 at 5,000. Armed with AGM 65D, AGM 65H, CBU 97. 1,150. Gun. Playtime is 0 plus 30. Available for tasking. What do you have for us?
Okay, so I'm going to thumb these details in very quickly.
1-1. This is Axeman 1-1. Type 3 in effect. Advise and ready.
Going to make a new steer point. Call AAB 1. Okay, we can see AAB1 is there. I'm now going to talk to him again. Ready to copy.
Ready to copy. Line is as follows. 1, 2, 3, NA, 350 feet, MSL, AAA, Golf Hotel, 2997170, no mark, north 6,000. Advise and ready for remarks and further talk on.
Okay, so we've got that position in our system. Now let's have a look at our TAD. And remember, we need to go back out of mark mode into mission mode in order to see our newly entered UTM coordinate. And I do this by cycling to our entered waypoint, steer point, which is AAB2. You can see it there. And we can see it on our TAD. So we're going to turn in that general direction. Switch on our TGP. I'm going to slave it to that location, and we should have some targets. Yeah, and we can see some targets there. So I'm going to quickly designate some of these targets with mark points, and I'm going to do this with TMS right short. Move it on to the next one. TMS right short, and the last one TMS right short. So now we should have 3 more mark points in the system, and we have it up to E. So the first 2 are A, B, and the last 3 there are the real targets were C, D and E. So I'm going to put some distance between us and the target area in order to be able to get a decent length of time to tack these targets together. Just move my seat up a little bit here. Okay. So go back into remember, we're in mission mode and we're not in mark mode, and I just want to demonstrate how you change the SPI from a normal SPI back into the mark points, because this is important. It's a subtlety that you may not understand. So I'm going to make the HUD the center of interest, and I'm going to make a position on the ground, and I'm going to make it a SPI, and I'm going to slave the TGP to it. So we can see that that's the current SPI, and what we need to do is we need to make the marked points our SPI. So if I switch out to mark point here, we can see that the currently created SPI is still in place. Okay, and let's start moving back now on our target area. We can see that you can see on our TAD, this is the location of our targets, but our SPI is down here. So remember, now we're in the mark point mode. I'm going to select mark point C as being our first mark point we want to designate, and we can see our target area here because it's designated as a steer point, but it's not a SPI. Now if I click on TMS long, no matter how long I do it, it's not going to turn this point into a SPI. What I've got to do actually is click on TMS long back. Now I do this, you can see the previous designated SPI has gone, and now one of our mark points is now the SPI. That's really important to note. So it means you can get out of whatever SPI you've got, you can make your mark point to SPI. Now there's a little bit of inaccuracy here. You can see I'm a little bit away from that target, but if we go to our our Maverick. It should be close enough to be able to do the job for us. There it is. I'm going to change the slew rate to 2, give us a bit better control, and I'm going to just move it a little bit. Come on. There we go. I'm going to now change to mark point D, slave, move it a little bit, fire, move, slave, move it a little bit, fire, and away I go. So you can see how efficient this can be. I'm not sure why there was...
Infield 1-1. Target destroyed. Infield 1-1. This is Axeman 1-1. Type 3 in effect. Advised and ready for 9 miles.
Okay, I'm not sure why there was a significant offset like that between the target and the mark points, but you can see it was close enough to be able to do the job, and maybe altitude and angle of attack was, or angle of ingress was a factor there. But that pretty much describes how to use mark points and how mark points can be quite efficient. And once again, it's important that you map your steer point button here to something on your HOTAS so that you don't have to be worrying about your view in order to change that. And it doesn't matter what sensor of interest it is, whether it's left MFD, right MFD, you can still change your steer point. Thanks for watching.